Hey everybody, this is Chris, your sermon sidekick, and we're back again because today we're going to talk about talking. And specifically, we're going to talk about what you talk about when you talk. Because when you talk, you should talk about this. What is it? What should you talk about when you talk? Stick around and find out. When I first started out speaking, I was in high school and I would call up pastors that I was scheduled to speak at their church and I would ask them some really important questions. Like the number one question was, where's your church? I got to have directions to get there. You've got to know where the church is if you're going to show up and speak there. The second thing I would ask them is, what time does your service start? And what time would you like me to be there? Always show up early at any of those churches. The final really important question I would ask is this. I would say, what do you want me to talk about? And every single time, the answer I got back was the same. They would say, you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Go ahead and just share what's on your heart. Or maybe you've got a word that you want to share with all of us. That's fine. Go ahead. It doesn't matter. They always told me it doesn't matter. But I'm here to set the record straight that it does matter. When you talk, it does matter what you talk about. And I'm going to tell you exactly what you should talk about every time you talk. And that's this. You should be talking about your mission and your vision. Every time you talk, when you talk about your mission and your vision. Now, let me tell you exactly what I mean by mission and vision, because a lot of people have some different ideas about what those words mean. The first one is mission. What is your mission? Mission is just the reason you exist. Your mission statement tells the world why you exist and what you're trying to accomplish. Now, for an individual, you may have a mission statement, but every strong organization, every great church has a mission statement that tells people exactly why they exist and what they're planning to do. Maybe your mission statement is, we are creating fully devoted followers of Christ. Maybe your mission statement is helping all people advance in their journey with Christ. Whatever your mission statement is, it's probably unique to your individual church. So every time you talk, you need to be telling people what that mission statement is. Every time you're preparing a message, every time you're standing up and presenting that message, you should be weaving in and letting people know this is our mission. I don't mean that you stand up and just recite it, although sometimes you can do that. Sometimes that's important to do. What I mean is, for instance, if your mission statement is about creating leaders, then your sermons should be talking about how to lead other people. Maybe your mission statement has a lot to do with discipleships and making disciples. Well, tell us in your message how to make disciples. And that leads us to the second thing that you should be talking about, mission and vision. You should be talking about your vision. What do I mean by vision? Vision is simply the ability to see the end point of a mission. Your mission is who you are and what you're doing, but your vision tells us how you're going to accomplish that. And usually within any organization, there's only one person who has the vision. Everybody can catch the mission, but usually it's only one person. And that person is usually the senior pastor, usually the person that's standing up and speaking every Sunday morning. So every chance you get, you should be telling us how we're going to be accomplishing that mission. Your mission and vision. You should be weaving that in and out of every sermon you speak and every chance you get to speak. Let me give you an example of what I mean by that. I was on staff at a church and I head up the Hello team. That's just a fancy name we gave to the parking lot greeters, the ushers, all that whole crew. Those people that met you at the street and escorted you all the way into your seat in the auditorium. And every Sunday morning, we would have a Hello Team huddle. And I always began that Hello Team huddle by reciting the mission statement. I would recite it over and over again. Hey, we are here because, and then I would tell them what the mission statement was. It got to the point that it was driving them crazy. They got sick of hearing it. Sometimes I would mess up and say a word out of order or something, and they would jump in and correct me. Other times I would call on somebody and say, hey, can you tell us what the mission is? And almost like it was a classroom setting. But I'll tell you this, within 6 months, every single person on our Hello team knew the mission statement inside and out. They knew exactly why they were there that day. That's why it's so important that every time you talk, you're talking about your mission and your vision. Now, let me end with this one question. When do you talk? If you're a senior pastor, if you're a preacher, you're probably saying, well, I talk whenever I get up every Sunday and I give my sermon. That's true. That's true. But here's the thing too, though. You're always talking. You're always talking. That bulletin, email announcements, video announcements, that's talking, and that's coming right from you. So everything that you talk about on your bulletin, on your videos, those should still be supporting the mission and vision. Another way you talk is through your social media. Maybe your church has a blog. Maybe you have a Facebook, Twitter, Instagram account. Everything that goes out on social media, again, you need to make sure that it reinforces the mission and vision of your organization. What's another way that you talk? Well, I'll tell you, your facilities can talk for themselves. If you go into a restroom at a church, you're going to learn so much about the mission and vision of that church by the way they keep their restrooms, by the way they clean up, by the way they take care to make sure the room is nice and decorated, to make sure that the sanctuary looks good, the hallways are swept and clean. Your facilities will be talking for you. Finally, your staff will be talking, not just speaking, but the way they present themselves. That should also be echoing the mission and vision of the church, whether it's on Sunday morning, Wednesday night, whenever your services are, or whether it's through the week. Everybody on staff has the responsibility to be echoing the mission and vision of your organization. Why? Because you're always talking. Every time you talk, if you reinforce the mission and vision of your church, you are going to be a more effective communicator. Hey everybody, thanks so much again for watching Sermon Sidekick. Look, if you found this video helpful, and I hope you did, but if you found this video helpful, the only thing I'm going to ask you to do is share this with one other friend. Just click on the links below and share this video. You can also go to my website, mrcolvin.com. You can find me on Twitter or Facebook as well to see some of the other things that I'm doing. But again, if you found this helpful, please just share this with one other person. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.